2/3 of all living animals and plant species on the planet are found in the rainforest of tropical regions. It is probable that many hundreds of new species of plants, insects, and microorganisms are still undiscovered. In our planet, this high diversity of species can be found at the equator, and as latitude increases and we move towards both poles, the diversity gradient decreases. This pattern is known as the latitudinal diversity gradient. But why do we observe this gradient, and which are the reasons explaining a higher species diversity in and around the equator? To explain this, two general reasons are usually cited. First, a high rate of speciation, and second, a highly favorable environment for species. The latter implies that species extinction rate is lower in the tropics than in temperate regions. This way, we can base our answer on an evolutionary perspective and think about the evolutionary history of the tropical biodiversity. Three general types of models exist to explain the high species richness. The first one is the cradle model. According to it, the tropics function as a cradle of biodiversity, where the rate of speciation or production of new species is very high. The second is the museum model. The tropics would also represent a museum of diversity, harboring many old and new species that accumulate there, while only a few go extinct. The third model proposes that, for different factors, immigration rates of species towards the tropics are high. This way, species that originated in other places end up in the tropics. So, based on these three models, some other very exciting and specific hypotheses explain why a high species biodiversity exists in different areas around the world. The Great American Interchange, the refugee hypothesis, the wetland hypothesis. Wow, sounds interesting, right? So continue then with your adventure in order to discover more about the evolutionary history of tropical biodiversity.